Hey guys, so this is the Laugh at Everything podcast. Got Wes,
And Josh.
and that's all we got today.
That's it. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's a rough day. No one likes us on the podcast.
Kyle has disowned us.
Last week we had Kyle, and now he's like, "Nah, I'm good, fam. I don't want anything to do with your podcast."
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"You only get 30 views. You're gonna pass."
Hey. Screw Kyle. No,
Yeah,
Kyle's
no.
a good dude. He's probably just busy being a dad and a husband.
Yeah, he said something about they got in late. They wanted to not hang out with us, or
Yeah, he's got responsibilities. He's doing well. Like, his life is going all right, you know?
I guess.
All right.
Yeah, so before the podcast, Josh was telling me about
Oh, yeah.
all of the wonderful things that happened to him in life and how we should all be so insanely jealous of him. So I'm going to turn it over to Josh, and I'm going to let him tell you about his life.
So, like, we just had Thanksgiving, right? Setting the scene here. Just had
yeah?
Thanksgiving, just had Black Friday, right?
Wait, so this is on Thanksgiving? Or on...
No, this is okay. So like Thanksgiving had passed. It was Black Friday, and the day after Black Friday, they were still having like all this because like it was all weekend kind of thing now, and so we had went back to Target, me and a couple buddies just to go. So we had just eaten.
You just ate?
One of those. So we went to Target and we were just walking around, having fun, whatever, looking at books and like talking about those, and then just I don't know, just getting to know some of my buddies' friends that I hadn't met yet. And so we go to check out, and they're all like just standing at the checkout, checking out because it's self checkout. They all were just messing around.
Yeah.
And I was like standing back, just looking around. I look towards Starbucks because there's a Starbucks in like Target, and I see these three girls just hanging out. And I see this one girl like looking at me, like directly at me, and I just looked at her. I was like, make eye contact for a second. I don't know why. I just remembered her like right then and there, and so I just looked at the self checkout. We're just talking with Jordan.
Wait, you remembered her?
No, like I just like it's stuck in my brain. Like, does that make sense? Like for some reason I was like, her face is significant, and in no way does that make sense to me. But I did, like, instantly I saw her and I was like, something like she's important for some reason.
So you thought she was cute?
Maybe, I don't know, but all I know is that I saw her and I was like, her face is like something's gonna happen.
How old was she?
I don't know, like 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
You crazy.
Hey, man. I'm not...
So right after that, we're checking out or whatever, and I kind of glanced. Huh?
You said you're checking out a river?
Checking out or whatever. Sorry.
I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry.
Checking out or whatever, and I look up again, and like the group's gone. I hadn't really noticed that they'd moved, so I just focused on the checkout. Well, then all of a sudden, she's like near me, and she's like, "Hi!" and she has her hand like just stretched out towards me, and I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." She's like, "Can I have your number?" And I was like,
Just straight up so forward.
"Yeah."
She doesn't even care about your name. She just wants your body.
Yeah, literally.
She's not even like, "Hi, how are you? Are you a serial killer maybe?"
No, like, and like the two girls are like standing behind her, and the girl behind her is like, "Oh my god," like says that out loud, and the girl's like she's just kind of just it's like just waiting for me to say yes, and so I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh my god, what would have happened if you was like, "Nah"?
I don't know.
Hey, can I have your number? No. I don't think so.
So she pulls out her phone and I just start saying off my number, like 318, blah blah. And,
Oh, what was it? What's your phone number?
I can't. It's private information.
It starts at 308.
No,
That means we know where you are.
Also have another random phone number story that we need to talk about too.
Okay.
So, give her my phone number, and she's like, "I'm just trying to show these two girls that it's easy, that it's really easy to get a phone number."
It's like an alpha female.
Dude, she was cute though, but
And now you got it. Well, now.
No.
Now she has your number.
no. And even if she does text me, I'm not gonna answer her. She didn't really like. She wasn't seeking me. She was just showing her friends that it's easy.
Do you think one of her other friends thought you were cute and they were just too scared?
Maybe.
You're a cute guy. You know it's possible.
Shut up. Okay, so I guess what Wes had mentioned before. Do you want to just?
Has that ever worked for you, like that approach?
I don't do that approach. I do it normally.
Which is what, you get their name, say hi, how are
Yeah,
you
like,
first.
nice to meet you. Yeah, exactly. I'm not like, "Hi, give me your number."
Like, I feel like if the roles were reversed, that doesn't
Little
work.
sketch, yeah.
And it doesn't work because, a significant portion of the male population is so garbage when it comes to just even talking to women.
Mm.
You know, and a lot of bad things happen when just
Yeah,
women
that's
guys
yeah,
approach
it's
you.
kind of can be sketchy.
So like I get it, but like if the roles were reversed, I don't think that would be
How it would play out.
You know,
like Jordan, all my buddies were like, "What?" and they're like making fun of me the rest of the night about like, I don't know, dude. Random cute girls just come up to you and ask for your number. It's like, shut up. It wasn't that. It wasn't that at all.
hold on. Why are they making fun of you though?
Just because they're just giving
They are
shit.
so salty. They're like, no girls ever pay me in gum. You know?
We went to Starbucks after, and
You're hoping to see the girls there.
no, me and my buddy, we had gotten hot chocolate because it was really cold outside, and they had went to give my buddy his hot chocolate, and I was like, "That's mine. I'm more important." And I grabbed it. And
Oh, snap.
Jordan was joking. He was like, "Yeah, I guess so. You're getting all these girls' numbers," and I was just joking with him, and I handed him the cup, and I was like, "Y'all gotta chill out."
Was it a male or female barista?
It was a female barista. She was laughing.
Was she handing it to you?
Yes.
She was like, I don't want to give it to him. I wanna
She
give it to
literally
you."
was like, "Jordan," handed it to me. No.
She's like, no, I remember your name was Jordan, but
Yeah.
he's cute.
Well, I mean, my name's also Josh, and Jordan, I guess you could kind of mix them up.
I mean, yeah, they both start with a Joe.
Joe. So, yeah, I don't know. That does parallel into, like, if a guy would just go up to a girl and just be like, "Hi, give me your number."
I mean,
Isn't that what Tinder is, though, in a way? Just
yeah,
like-
but, you know, Tinder, at least you have the opportunity to lie about yourself before.
Right.
Like, on your profile, it's like, you got your best picture, or what I hope is your best picture.
Yeah.
Or I guess a decent picture. Maybe it's not your
Mhm.
best. You know, and you're giving them the eyes in the picture.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then your profile's like, yeah, I'm an astrophysicist. Yeah, I cured cancer.
Right, like, how
I've won
they-
3 Nobel Prizes, but you can't ask me how.
My name's Barack Obama. Like,
Right. I was the 44th president of the United States. Yeah, but, you know, and then based off of that lie, they can get into it. And then,
Mhm.
you know, if you browse Reddit at all and you look at any of those posted pictures about conversations,
Mhm. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it seems like, and I don't do the Tinder thing. It seems like 90% of those conversations are, "Hey, you cute. Hey, send me pics." And it's like,
Well,
all right,
yeah.
let's calm down.
Willing to have sex, yeah.
You know, I don't think that would work if that was, you know, well, I don't know. I guess it depends on how cute you are. Because,
I
like,
guess it does.
if somebody with a neck beard and lots of facial pimples and they haven't bathed in 30 days comes up to anybody and is like, "Yeah, you're cute. I want to get your number," the answer is no. But if a dapper gentleman approached me in a nice business suit and he doesn't seem all that creepy and he doesn't take up too much of my time, because time is money, friend, and as
Yeah.
a modern day woman, I don't have time for all this
I don't have
nonsense.
time for this shenanigans, alright?
It's like, either, you know, let me know your intentions, and if you're super creepy with it, nah,
Right. Yeah.
back off. Like, I don't know if that would work a lot today, but like I said, maybe if you're the right guy, or
Mm-hmm.
if she's desperate enough, I don't know. I'm not
Right.
really, super familiar. I know that I have done that one time, but it wasn't my intention. And it was when I was in orientation for college,
Yeah.
like the very end of it.
Here or
Yeah. This is for
Okay.
here. This is before I left. So we were here or whatever, and I was with my group of friends that I made, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go sit with random people. I'm just gonna go sit. I'm just gonna make new friends.
Mhm.
And I said that, and I was like 3 feet away from like just these 3 girls, and
Mhm.
they just happened to be girls. It wasn't like I was like
hitting on
targeting girls or
Right,
anything
yeah.
like that. And so I sit down and I just start being my goofy self or whatever.
Yeah.
And like one of the girls is, we kind of hit it off or whatever.
clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even understand really what was happening. I don't even remember what happened.
Mhm.
But I made some sort of joke about, oh yeah, blah blah blah. If I had your number, I could, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. It was probably something really stupid and corny. And she's like, okay. She hands me her phone to put my number in her phone. I was like, oh, what? Hold on. Wait.
Like
it wasn't-
sly dog.
I wasn't even trying to do this. I was just
Yeah.
trying to make new friends. You know, I was just trying to grow my network, as it were.
Yeah.
Because I was a scared freshman.
Yeah.
And in high school, I was one of those like, oh yeah, we gotta go get them. We're gonna make friends with everybody, and we're gonna
Yeah.
like one of those kids. That you're like, all right, buddy, let's calm down.
I'm
We
like
get
that.
it. You're an AP.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm like that as well, but it's not like that, that much. It's not that like overbearing. Like I don't know.
Wow.
I just have. No, like I'm just
No,
saying.
that's
Like I don't have.
Friends?
No, I don't have like the. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's like. Whenever you're in a group or whatever, a lot of people like have like a huge sense of awkwardness or whatever. I know, like I understand that there is some awkward moments, but I don't have the sense of like it's so awkward that I can't do anything else.
I mean, it depends on, the group.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a group of my friends, there's absolutely no awkwardness, and
Right. Yeah.
I just don't care,
Mm-hmm.
The only time that it's ever really awkward, I guess, is when it's, I don't want to say unintentionally awkward, but like meeting new people doesn't bother me. Like if
That's what I'm getting.
like
at.
an orientation, there's like you're putting a group of like 8 to 12 people.
Yeah, I was in my element. Like I
and
was
like
fine.
nobody knows each other. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same.
Nobody knows me. I'm a total clown,
Exactly.
and I usually have people laughing,
Right.
which you probably can't tell if you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, honestly.
No, I tease.
Same.
But yeah,
yeah.
I feel like that was a little creepy of her. I don't appreciate it.
And you regret it ever since?
No, I'm talking about your girl.
Oh.
No, my girl. That was absolutely. I should have known. I should have known from day
In
one.
retrospective.
It's like super obvious, and you look back at it, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
that was a mistake.
Nah, she was sweet about it and stuff, but just I don't know. I understand.
Was
your
she
point.
really though? She didn't ask your name.
No,
she didn't
wasn't.
even ask how you're doing.
She wasn't that sweet at all.
She
Actually.
was just, hi, give me your number.
I guess
You should have been like, bitch, I have a name.
I can see your point about like if the genders were reversed, how it would be. But I don't know. I just have like weird phone luck.
Weird phone luck.
Like, does that make like weird interactions with strangers over phone? Does that narrow it down? Like me and Jordan before finals week.
Who's Jordan?
My buddy Jordan. He actually works at the same place that we
Okay,
do, and
yeah.
he's just a cool dude.
Jordan.
Um,
So Jordan was there with you, right?
Yes, he lives near me, and like I met him in college, which is weird.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Um,
weird meeting people in college.
Like it's so weird meeting people that live so close to you in college. You know,
It's
And,
almost like
I'm far away from my hometown, so not far away. I'm a moderate distance from my hometown.
what do you mean it's weird meeting people in college that are near
Like,
you?
What are the odds that from my hometown, from Central Louisiana,
Oh, okay.
this other dude is really cool,
See, it's not really that big of a deal to me.
and I'd meet
because-
him, you know, and be cool with him.
Well, like from where I'm from, the Shreveport area,
Mhm.
I know a lot of people there, and I know
Yeah.
basically that everyone in my high school either went here or
Or
like 10% of them went to
LSU,
LSU.
yeah.
So, that's about it.
Or I
That's
could
your
call
two
it,
choices.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's
Um,
a few that went to like community colleges and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and they're
I
probably
mean-
making a lot more money than I am.
I wouldn't say that. Anyways.
Oh man, like welders, I think that'd be so cool.
welders make
I would
yeah.
make some stuff. Like I'd make like a Gundam.
Yeah, my dad's a welder.
I think that's really cool.
Enjoys it. Sorry, back to the story.
Yeah,
So me and
yeah.
Jordan were studying, right? And then I get a random message from a girl. I'm actually just gonna pull up messages because.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No other way to tell
Go
the.
ahead and flex. That's all right.
Shut the fuck up.
I was just studying, my friend, and
No, I'm serious.
this lady just texted me.
So I was just studying, and
So put upon.
This girl texts me, and I don't know if it's a girl at first, but it's just, hey. It just says, hey, is there any way you could help me with my project? And I was like, random number, had no idea who this was. And so I was like, hey, who is this? But sure, like, whatever I can do, I don't care.
What if their project is it's like genocide or something? You're like, yeah, sure.
I said, sure, I guess.
I feel like you're a little baby bird, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I feel like I want to protect you from all the dirty people in the world.
Oh my God.
Like, what if this lady that came up to you, this girl, was like a swindler? What if she like stole your wallet? Like, hi, what's your name? Reaches out her hand to
My answer to that, Wes, is I'm a pretty tall, bigger dude, so I feel like I wouldn't be the target. Like there are a
feel
lot
like-
of other targets in Target to target. Do you understand?
I feel like that's the perfect target, is the target that doesn't know he's a target or thinks he's above the target.
Not that
you
I'm
know?
above the target, just that I feel like I can take care of myself.
Do you feel like no one's going to target you in Target just because you're tall?
Let's get back to the story. So she just disregards my question. Who is this? She was like, "Oh my God, you're a lifesaver. Thanks."
Yeah, no, that's red flag number 2.
Yeah, well, it got better. So I was like, "Who is this?" She was like, "It's Tori, LOL." And I was like, "Okay, Tori, nice
So we're
to
just
meet you."
going to name drop this person.
No, it's a fake name.
Tori? You're
Yeah.
sure?
No, The name that I just said isn't her actual name.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was like, wow, just outing this person. Is it?
And so I was like, so who are you trying to text? You probably have the wrong number. This person, it was a girl name, so I was like, she. We're not assuming, we're just guessing here. So I was like, she said, if my friend gave me the wrong number, I'm gonna have to hurt her, lol. And I was just talking like, sorry, maybe your friend knows me, maybe your friend has my number and that's how you got my number. So she was like, this person's name. And I was like, I don't know that person, I'm sorry. She was like, damn, I'm gonna have to kill her. And I was like, all right, please don't kill her too much. And it just ended off with being like, we were like calling like each other like stranger, and just like, all right, stranger, good luck on your finals and good luck on your project. She's like, thanks, stranger, good luck on your finals too. Whatever, left it at that. This week, I get a message.
Dun dun dun.
Because I had left it off with a flirt. I was like, I found out that she goes to college that we know.
You just be like, yo, you text cute.
No. So I found out that she goes.
Can I get your number?
I found out that she goes to a college in New Orleans, and I was like, okay, well, next time I'm in New Orleans, I'm gonna hit you up for all the good restaurants. And I sent a laughing emoji. She was like, yeah. She's like, I'd love to procrastinate with you at a restaurant. She's like, I know some good spots. And I was like, ah!
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after that, whatever, I hadn't talked to her for a while, but I had sent her after my finals were finished. I was like, hey, my finals went really well. I hope yours did too. You know, hope you're well, stranger. And she sends me after Thanksgiving. She's like, been so swamped. Just finished Thanksgiving. Had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you did too. Like, God bless, stranger.
Is that same school on the same system that you are? Because I think this school's the
It's a
system.
semesters, yeah. No, I told, like, I'd said, I know your finals are coming up, so.
Okay, yeah.
And we just started talking, whatever, and then we just, like, start sending huge texts to each other. Just massive, like, so many words.
You guys can't see it. Josh is showing me the screen.
Like, scrolling 5 pages worth of text to each other.
It's like if you wrote down all of Wikipedia
Yeah.
and sent it in text message.
And it ends up with her sending me pictures of herself, just, like, posing, and she's cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
This might be the one, you know? Like,
I
this
think
is a weird way to meet.
think it would be a funny story that, like, this girl randomly texted me. You know?
Random, right, yeah.
Like, who knows, maybe not random, but randomly texted.
Look, man, weird stuff happens in life.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's all. I just wanted to bring it up that, like, weird shit has been happening to me on the phone.
Ultimate thing, you gotta get her to listen to the podcast.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. I'll send you my SoundCloud link. Just come check it
My
out.
SoundCloud link.
No, we don't have SoundCloud.
We don't yet.
I think right now we're only on YouTube.
Watch out, after Article 13, we're going to be shut down, dude.
What's that?
You've heard about Article 13,
No, I
right?
haven't. Oh man, explain this. I really haven't.
Dude, I feel like I'm talking so much, but it's fine.
This is
So,
it's good because
moving on to more political topics, I guess.
like 90% of all the other podcasts is me just going. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm just over here rambling, man.
Shut
I'm glad you
up.
got something to talk about.
So, the UK is about to pass. Oh man, I don't want to get the information wrong, but I'm going to.
Hey, just do your best. Internet correctness, comments. You know,
I apologize.
tell Josh about how
Preemptively,
long he
I
is.
apologize. There's some regulations going on.
Yeah.
For all of the European Union, the EU.
Right.
So basically, in the United States, our fair use policies allow for openness. They allow for time to like evolve and like new technologies to develop and like new social media to come out, and it's still protected by fair use. But the way that the European Union has it set up is that it's not as open, it's more strict. So like as time goes by, like memes aren't covered under fair use, and like that's why you're seeing like some kind of copyright strikes in some videos, and it's a huge thing that's going on, like the like banning memes basically, and that's what Article 13 is.
How would you ban like?
You just make it to where companies won't host your memes. So like for every copyright stricken meme on like YouTube or Reddit or Imgur or like anywhere, the company itself will be liable for it, no matter the user. That's what they're doing in the EU. And the companies are like, hell no, we're gonna stop that. And like, so they pretty much just stop, like they're gonna make it a big bubble in the EU to where like only like nothing from the outside could be seen by the EU, by anyone in the EU, and it's gonna be like living under a dome pretty much.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Japan does that now, or China. No, I think it's China.
feel
where,
like it's not that strict.
like they basically filter everything that comes through.
Yeah, but that's what also led to like massive VPN use.
Well, first off, I mean, you should probably just be using a VPN just because, you know.
Well, see, the thing is, Wes, is that like it's not just the EU. Like it's gonna. So I don't know. Maybe you saw a couple months back.
Like I remember there was a few months ago, it was a while ago, where like there's a whole bunch of things that were updating their terms and services.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Right. Okay.
A couple months back, a whole bunch of stuff updated their terms and services, like their privacy policies. That was all because only the EU passed a whole bunch of regulations, and instead of just saying, "All right, we're gonna make this big bubble," they just changed it for everyone, worldwide. And so, even though the United States can allow some stuff, and has fair use, we're still gonna probably have to follow that strict guideline from them, because they're not just gonna waste resources like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's what we're gonna do. You know,
I'm not saying.
I think
I'm not saying that it's fact.
We're gonna
I'm just saying
throw
that.
their memes into the Boston Harbor.
Shut up.
You know? We've done this once. King George was like,
Technically-
I want you to pay taxes.
Technically, Brexit is a thing, Wes. Let's not
Look,
confuse the two.
That's what I'm saying, is they can't even decide whether, like, they all vote for Brexit, and they're like, all right, that means you're gonna have to, you know, do this and this and this and this, and like everyone's like, hold on, wait a minute, why are we doing that? I don't want to do that. It's like, well, that's what happens if you leave, and you just voted to leave. No, we didn't. You take that back. And there's like a big uproar right now about.
Were you for Brexit or against it?
Yeah, I have no idea, and I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. Me neither. Which is why I just wanted to say that to just like preface this of like we have no idea.
I am going to say that
So-
it seems like there's a big, maybe not a big, but you know, there seems like there's a push from a lot of people for nationality to come back. You know,
What are you asking? Like, are you saying like?
well, like there's a big push for like, you know, the U.S. is the U.S. and nobody else is coming in. No one else can come in.
So like
And like, you know, England is England.
nationalization versus globalization.
Right.
Okay.
And I don't know if, you know, necessarily one is better than the other,
Mhm.
but I know that with nationalization, it's probably going to cause like wars. Like that. I feel like that's how the world wars start.
Yeah.
Is that some country pisses off another country, and that country goes and tells its boys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go
Yep.
mess up that country," and then that country gets its boys, and it's just like
I mean, it does.
it's like a chain reaction of a whole lot of people dying, and it doesn't make any sense, especially because really all I care about as far as politics, because I think that they're mostly worthless, you know, and I say that with the best intentions.
Right.
I just feel like there's a lot of people in politics that are in it for power,
Not in it for
For
the right
money.
reasons.
and I feel like we should have politicians, which I know this is impossible because it's human nature, and there's a lot of powerful people already dedicated to stopping this.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like having people in there that will make the best for humanity. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because,
See, but that's the thing is like who defines that?
well, what
Yeah.
I would love is, you know, obviously if we could somehow fix, you know, like our energy crisis and
Yeah.
our problems and stuff like that, and find a way as a race, as a species, to, you know, coexist on the planet with the planet. I probably sound like a really big hippie, but it just doesn't make any sense. You're like, hey, I've got 15 tons of wood here. Once that's gone, that's it. We all die. It doesn't make any sense that, all right, everybody, make as many children as you can, and let's just consume this wood as fast as we possibly can. It's like, all right, let's hold on. That's probably not the best.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, especially in the last 100 years, we've had such a huge gain of technology, and with that technology, we're going to be able to create even more and better technology, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
assuming we don't bomb ourselves to death or destroy all of our natural resources for no reason, which we're basically on both of those tracks right now. We're never going to be able to go out and colonize the universe, and it's such a massive place that there's probably so much out there we can learn. I think it'd be such a shame if humanity died on Earth, but that seems pretty likely. That's really morbid, but
right.
That's my end goal.
That's your belief, yeah. That's like,
But it's tough because there's a big push right now in the astronomy department, so to speak, to get to Mars. Like to put people on Mars. They're going back to the moon, which I think is dope, and they're possibly thinking about putting like a moon base there, which I'm all for it.
That would be needed. To...
They're like, oh yeah, we got to find and terraform another planet. It's like, wait, hold on, we can't even fix the planet we're on. We're going to be destroying other planets, and it just doesn't make any sense. But that's what I want. I want to colonize other planets.
Yeah, I feel like it's like more of a thing of like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, that kind of thing. My personal belief. So it's
yeah, that's great and all, but if you just smash every basket you come across anyway, what's the point?
I agree with that sentiment, but it's also it takes a world to do it together. Not just one nation.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like nationalization is gonna just maybe halt that process. Yeah. And it's tough to be open-minded about a lot of people and things and ideas, especially when they're not native, and they're not the things that and especially when there's so much media out there that's portraying people from these groups as being, bad people that just want to hurt you and it makes you...
Right. And the thing is, too, is like, there has to be two parties that want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be...
I'm glad you said two parties. That reminds me, why do we have two parties in America?
Oh, like two parties, like political parties? We don't. We have more.
Well, I mean, basically, though, as it is right now, any party that you vote for that's not one of the major two is basically hurting your party. Like, if you vote...
So, like, you like, that statement in and of itself is the problem. Hurting your party. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right. So, like...
The fundamental belief in here is either you're blue or you're red. And that's not true. And the more that people think that, the more fucked you make yourself.
Right. So I talked to Andy about this a little bit because he's a geopolitical monster. Yeah. He understands way more than I do. And he was telling me about, we have basically option 1 or option 2. And if ever there were an option 3, that if they are similar at all to 1 or 2, that the one that they are most similar to, if you vote for option 3, you're actually hurting it.
It's they're binary voting. Man, that's what it is. It's binary voting. That's what that makes.
There's so many things in the world that they just don't seem right, and that might be one of them.
That's the whole thing. Is like, it's just binary voting. Either you're for or against, and that's how the system's set up.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no abstain system. You know what I'm saying? Because if there were, that'd be pretty easy. Like, I'm saying easy as in, like, you just push the task, like, you push the problem away.
Yeah.
Like the problem of abortion rights. It's like, I would abstain because there is no correct answer, honestly. I mean, like, that's very polarizing. It's a polarizing issue. You know what I'm saying?
So, speaking about that, and this might not be popular.
Oh, dude, we're going to get into it, right? Jeez.
Look, we can go into
something... shit-eating grin over here.
We can go into something completely different, Like, how I drive in sandals a lot. And when I drive, I usually take my driving sandal off because, flip-flops are kind of...
That's illegal, did you know that?
Yeah, it is, but it's also extremely more comfortable to drive that way. So in my mind, it's a lot safer. But I realize, like, I drive with my big toe a lot. Just the big toe.
That's so weird.
And it's if I'm getting on the interstate and my big toe is pushing... I have big feet, by the way. So if my big toe is accelerating my vehicle, it's weird to think about that this one big toe is responsible for my entire life. And, like, if I need to brake and I can't, and it gets caught on something or whatever, my foot trips up and I can't hit the brake, it's like...
You're dead.
It's like you get up to the afterlife and they're like, all right, how'd you die? Yeah, I couldn't step on the brake fast
My
enough.
big toe failed me.
Wait, what happened? Yeah, my big toe got caught. But no, yeah. So back to abortion.
Yay!
Such a fun topic.
Love it.
I think I've talked about this before, where I saw on Reddit that a guy's being charged like for murder.
I think we did talk about this.
And I think it should
Keep
just,
talking about it though. Like, explain.
right. So the guy's being charged for like attempted murder
Mm.
because he was putting like the day after pills or whatever in his pregnant girlfriend's milkshake, and that's not okay at all.
Not
You know,
okay.
not okay.
Not okay.
But I feel like while the female body does have to go through basically 100% of the bad parts, you know, the female is basically responsible solely for delivery of the baby, you know. That if she didn't want to keep it and the guy did, you know, what are those rights?
The thing, so this thought was brought up to me a while back, probably after this podcast that we talked about this. But the thought is that the whole idea of it became more murky whenever the family became split apart.
Yeah.
Like, back in the Gap, the family was a unit. There was no the mother's 100% like
Back in the Gap.
back in the Gap.
What's that?
I don't know, it's just a slang.
Let it eat.
Back in the day.
Well, I mean, so
Like, hang on.
Go ahead.
So, like, the family unit wasn't just the mother. Like, their single mothers weren't. Not that they weren't a thing. It's just like it was. It wasn't common. So, like, the family itself. Like, this is like ideally the situation was like the family made decisions together, and honestly the men were like the decision makers, and that's
Wow.
it
So
sucks. Yeah, it's crazy. And so, like, whenever this shift happened where women actually were given rights, it's like it becomes so much more murky. And like I was like, yeah, I guess that thought makes sense, but I just wanted to bring it up here.
Yeah, it does. I was watching a thing on monogamy the other day, and just, you know, explaining it or whatever, because humans had this idea of, I'm going to find that one and then that's it. Except that, you know, it doesn't really make sense for us to do that. And that a lot of cultures and like tribes and stuff before, you'll say the modern age, if you can even call it that, before, you know, the last 400 or 500 years, that basically the tribe raised the child. And so, like, mothers would typically have relationships with multiple different men.
They're
you
trying
know?
to grow their population, though, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's that, but then there's also, like, the mother would have a relationship with, like, multiple different men, and it could be any of those men, but each of those men contributed like it was his child, you know? And I'm sure that they did that with multiple women as well.
Right.
And what ended up happening is, like, this really tight-knit, woven community.
It takes a village to raise a kid.
Right. This whole village is raising all of the children together. And while I don't know if I could do that in practice, I think that's a really cool idea.
Like the concept of it.
Right. Because now, like, I don't... If a kid comes near me in a grocery store, it's like, ugh, go away. Especially with anti-vax moms.
Not mine!
You know, I don't want to catch Black Plague because essential oils aren't working. You know what I mean? So this is a little dated. I want to talk about it. I don't know if I ever talked about it. You remember, this was probably a few months ago, the Banksy art thing? Like, where the guy shredded the painting? Like, halfway shredded it or whatever. It just stopped halfway.
No.
So it's like a really big thing where, like, there's the art piece, and right after someone bought it, it, like, started shredding halfway, and it stopped. And, like, the value immediately went up, like, $2 to $3 million.
Oh my god.
I don't understand this at all.
Why did it go up?
Because apparently that's something that Banksy does or whatever. I think his name's Banksy. I could be totally wrong. Comments, let me know. That's just something he does. He's like a, or whoever it is, does like weird events like that. And they're really popular apparently. And I don't know why that would make that go up. Like, nothing else in the world can have that. Like, if I bought a game disc which who does that anymore? Because you buy everything digital.
Same.
And I put in my PlayStation, and it just goes, and it destroys half the disc. I can't go back to GameStop and be like, yo, which, first, I would never buy from GameStop ever.
Thank you. Okay.
If I went back to the random hobo on the street that I bought this game from, I would literally buy it
GameStop.
from GameStop. I was like, yo, I put this in my player, and it's shredded. Well, only half of it's shredded.
Yeah.
I want $20 more than I paid for this back.
Yes.
How does that work?
Nothing else besides art could enrich in value after being destroyed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That doesn't
That's
make any
ridiculous,
sense. Because if I look at art, it's got to be good. Like, that art is, at least from that specific piece, nothing about that is intrinsically better because it's been shredded.
I know.
Like, it's just some random piece or whatever. It's just some random... I don't even remember what it looks like now, but if it were like a motion of... You know, if it made me think, if it was like, oh yeah, we're going to shred half this piece and that is going to represent us, like, killing ourselves, like the snake consuming itself, so to speak.
Right. If
I
it, just
feel
so
like-
if it just so happened that the rip made sense of the picture.
Right. I feel like that's good art, and I would pay more for that, but...
Someone's face ripped in half ain't doing it for me, honey.
Yeah,
So-
like, I feel like shredding it is not going to add the value. Like, I'll buy it once it's already been shredded.
Right.
Because that's when the art is complete, you know. But buying it before the art's complete and then it gets shredded, and that makes the value go up, I can't understand that.
Honestly, if you're rich, it's like you don't really care anyways.
It's almost like we need to stop people from being rich.
It's almost like socialism. No.
No.
That,
Speaking about rich people, I might have talked about this before. How can a court of law have a dress code? Like,
explain?
so, like, if you go to court, and I haven't been, I've just read stories about, you know, and this could be any court, like a traffic ticket court, for example. Like, you're going up in front of this honorable person, so supposedly. Which really, what makes them there's nothing really that makes that person more honorable than someone else. They were literally voted in by people.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they're more honorable. That means they probably have more money. Like, why are these...
That's like the whole thing.
Why are
about
these
on there.
people
Is
you
that
know, determining what's right and wrong based off of popularity?
That's not at all it.
Anyway, there's...
I'm fighting you on this.
It is. That's exactly how it
The
is.
whole value of honor is what other people think of you, and if you're thought of well enough to be voted into a position, then you're honorable.
Except
the
nowadays, it's all about who's got money, and it has nothing to do with honor.
Is it though? I don't think it's that.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I don't.
You pay someone to vote for you, and they do.
That's not a thing. That's illegal.
It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Drugs are illegal, and they still happen.
That's not a thing, though.
Hold on. You're saying because it's illegal, it can't happen?
Who's gonna pay me to vote for them? I want to find
somebody
these people.
who's gonna use you to get what they want.
That doesn't make sense. I'm so confused. What do you? Who are these people? First off, like who are the people that you're talking about?
Like rich people, you know?
So rich people pay other people to vote for them
Yeah.
into office.
Or to vote who they think is going to be good. Like who's going to further their agenda the most.
Like, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that happens on a massive scale like that.
Oh man, I think that's how the world works.
Wes,
now.
nobody's ever asked for me to vote for someone.
That's because you don't matter because you don't have money.
But I have just the same amount of power to vote someone in
No,
as
you
anyone
don't.
else.
No. You have no money and no power. You have just a single person's worth of power.
I'm in voting power.
Right. But if I went around to all my friends, if we have a vote in the office and I don't interfere at all, you know, we'll let the votes go as they vote.
Sure.
Then that's how it is. That's how it should be. How it actually is we have this vote, and then before the vote, I go around to all my friends in secret and I go, "Hey, I'll give you $10 if you vote this way," and they do. And the thing that I wanted,
Wes, that doesn't happen.
It does. We're getting off topic. What I want to talk about is the dress code.
Okay.
So courts have a dress code because you're seeing this
Yes.
pseudo honorable person, and you have to have like nice pants and like a nice shirt or whatever. And I think if you don't, they can hold you in contempt of court. Like you have to be bathed and stuff like that. I think. I know that there are rules that you have to like dress up. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm pretty sure that the court will provide you that though, if you don't have it.
I don't think so.
Like the court provides you a lawyer and dress.
No. Like if you're going in for just like a random traffic ticket,
Okay.
like there's a dress code required.
Like, don't be naked.
Well, no, it says you have to have like a button-up shirt or something and slacks
Okay.
and like shoes. So if I go in there wearing a t-shirt and cargo shorts and sandals, they're gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, probably.
Probably.
But what doesn't, and this doesn't make any sense with dress codes anywhere, you know? Especially like in restaurants and stuff, like there's a dress code for a restaurant. I don't think so, you know what I mean? Like if I ever become rich, I'm going to wear exactly what I'm wearing right now because it's comfortable. And it's t-shirt, shorts, sandals. Like even, alright, at my job I can wear a t-shirt and cargo shorts. And I have to wear shoes, but I'm fighting that fight. And they pay me. They literally pay me for my time to come dressed in such a way that they deem appropriate when I'm working for them. They say, hey, for lack of a better phrase, we're going to give you money if you come into work at this time for this amount of hours per week and you dress like this and you do this work. They're paying me. I'm not getting paid by the court. In fact, the court is taking up my time. Like if I had to go pay a traffic ticket, I have to go there and look the way that they want me to look, even though they're not paying me, and pay them money.
I would argue that you're wasting their time because you shouldn't have gotten the ticket in the first place. You should have just been a law-abiding citizen.
Okay, well that's fine. The punishment is the fine.
Right.
The punishment is not the fine, and you have to dress a certain way for a certain amount of hours.
That's written in the sub, like
That doesn't make any sense. Or like if you go to a fancy restaurant and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have to have a jacket and a tie or whatever to come in here." It's like I have to have a jacket and a tie just to pay you money. That's not how that works.
Well, like, I feel like you could parallel this argument to, like, how come you can't buy cigarettes before this age? It's like, that's not how that should work either. You can buy whatever whenever
But
you
the
want.
argument for that is that cigarettes are harmful, and everyone knows that they're harmful, and people want them anyway. So, number one, they're highly taxed, and they're expensive.
Right.
But also, number two, you can buy it when you are deemed an adult. When you're deemed legally responsible enough to make your own decisions.
Right.
Which that doesn't make any sense for alcohol or like renting vehicles because those ages are like 21 and 25.
5.
Which is ridiculous.
so weird.
Like you can make your own decisions, you can pay your taxes.
You can't even test drive some cars before.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. So I just don't understand how can a place of business require me to be a certain amount of dressed that is, you know, more so than, hey, you're covered, which is just the general rule for going out in public that...
I feel like it's just the thing of like...
I'm sorry, Josh, I can't talk to you right now until you have to have a suit and tie to talk to me.
Well, that's the thing is like you don't own this establishment. Like, if you own the establishment, you can set the rules for the club. Is that like... You know,
I want you to give me $5, but I want you to give me $5 dressed really, really nicely. I don't want your $5, even though it's the same $5.
Yeah.
If you're not dressed nicely.
Well, I think that it's supposed to be. I want you to come and eat our food and pay for our food, but look nice while you eat it.
That does no. F you. That's not your concern.
So then don't go eat there. You know, it's like
No,
so
I
then
want
you're
the
not
food.
allowed to eat it here.
I want the food though.
Well, then you're gonna have to dress the part.
No.
Well, then you can't eat the food. Sorry.
That doesn't make any sense.
Like the
Somebody
the
else
business,
is paying
the
for
business,
that food the same
business
way.
Doesn't owe you anything.
You're absolutely right. I am paying for it.
and you're getting the food in return, and all they ask for you is to be
No,
nicely
they
dressed.
can't ask that. If they're gonna ask that, the price has to come down.
Say it did.
Then I'm okay with it. But right now, you're paying the exact same price as someone who's dressed nice.
Who's dressed nice, yeah.
As even if you're not dressed nice. Like, that's it. Like, if you're paying more to be dressed the way that you want to be dressed, perfectly okay with that.
Mhm.
Even though I'm not really okay with it because you're paying for the exact same stuff. Why is Joe Schmo getting it for $3 and I have to pay $5 just because he looks nicer?
Because they own the establishment. They
That
can,
doesn't make it... Alright.
they can
all
make
right.
the rules as they want.
What if, and this is super controversial, what if they say, you can eat at our restaurant?
Stop talking. I know where you're going.
What if they... What's
If
the
that's
difference?
their rule, they'll have their own repercussions, but that's a rule.
They have their own repercussions. There are no repercussions.
There aren't any laws protecting certain dressed citizens.
Why? How can they discriminate against certain dressed citizens then?
Because it's not a protected class, Wes.
But that doesn't make any sense. How can they discriminate against that?
That's
How
not
can they
discrimination.
say, we don't want your $5. Your $5 is not as good as
That's
this
not
other
what they're
person's
saying. They're
$5.
not saying that
Because that other person is dressed nicer than you are.
They're not saying that they don't want your $5. They're just saying that
They
everyone
are.
that comes into this club
Happens
should be dressed
to be-
nice. You're the worst.
This makes no sense. This is like saying, okay, everybody of a certain, ethnicity is okay to eat here. But if you're not, you can't eat here.
That's not at all what that's saying at all.
Why?
Because it's not. I can't explain why.
You
Because
can't
it's just
explain it,
common
it's just
sense. It's just common sense.
It's
and
not
it's not
common
the same.
sense. I'm paying the same amount. It's like if Amazon charged you more because of what you ordered your Amazon order in.
For not being on Amazon Prime, they charge you more for
But
shipping.
no, that's different.
That's how.
That's totally different because with Prime you get added benefits of like free 2-day shipping.
You get to eat there. Like that's the
No!
added benefit.
No. You're actually. I shouldn't have to number one pay to eat at this place, and then also pay for the food. It doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly what a restaurant is.
No, it doesn't make any sense that I should have to pay more money, or that I should have to dress a certain way to pay them food, or to pay them money for food.
That's what the restaurant is.
It's like if you go up to, and not that you would, if you go up to like a person of the night and you're saying, hey, I'll give you money for such and such,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to dress a certain way. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, she could. Like that's not what's happening. They're not coming to you and offering something. They're saying, "Hey, we're here. If you want our food, you're just gonna have to dress this way."
I don't feel like that's right. Because
I'm sorry. Like
the being dressed a certain way does nothing for their business at the end of the day.
I think it does.
It makes them look nicer, sure.
Right. That's
But
a
it
huge part of it.
doesn't give them any more physical money.
I think it does.
You think being dressed nicer gives them more money?
I think that having a
No.
club sense.
Well, no. We're not talking about whether or not it attracts more customers.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
We're talking about whether or not it gives them more money at the end of the day.
So yes, if it attracts more customers, then it gives them more money.
No. disagree.
Why not?
Because, first off, you're not going to attract more customers by being snooty like that.
You'd be surprised.
You're going to attract a certain amount of customers. There's only so many rich people in the world. There's far more poor people.
When did it's become rich? Like I don't understand.
Well, like, if I
Like
can't
just
afford...
because you have to dress a certain part, like doesn't mean.
Like, if I can't afford this nice $600 Armani suit just to go eat at your restaurant where I'm only going to spend $100, F you. I'm not going to do that. I'm paying you $100 just like everyone else there.
But you can't because you're not dressed the part.
So I have to end up paying $700. 6 of that is just to be able to go there.
Not every time, just once, and then subsequently you just wear that same suit.
No, that's not how that works. It's like we went...
The fundamental argument is like, what are you arguing? Like,
Well, what I'm arguing is that I should be able to walk into any restaurant I want, as long as I'm not causing trouble, and pay them the exact same amount of money that anyone else is paying them, regardless of the way that I look.
Well, the definition of causing trouble is breaking rules, and if you're breaking the rules, that's causing trouble.
It's an arbitrary rule that doesn't make any sense.
But it's
The exact same rule as a certain place of business that we may or may not work for says you can wear open-toed sandals with a strap on the back, but you can't wear flip-flops. And the argument is, okay, why can't I wear flip-flops? The only difference between sandals and flip-flops is that there's a strap on the back.
The argument is personal hygiene.
How?
Because no one wants to see your nasty, raggedy
You can
ass
see
feet.
the nasty, raggedy ass feet through the sandals.
Nobody wants that nasty
You can see the
feet.
foot through the sandals.
Ain't nobody need that
You're
nasty,
experiencing
nasty.
the foot through the sandal and through the flip-flop the exact same way.
No, I'd argue that it's just like a club atmosphere for a restaurant. You know, it's just like you're part of the in crowd, and that's the aesthetic.
Part of the in crowd. Do you know what you sound like right now? The
So-
in crowd. You're part of the in crowd. You're part of
Like,
the people that
that's-
we like.
That's part of the aesthetic.
You're part of the group of people that we like. If you're not part of the group of people that we like, you're not allowed to eat here.
That's like the whole thing about popularity is like everyone wanted to be part of the in crowd, and like that's the appeal, that's the aesthetic, that's.
I feel like there's been like serious problems with this in the past about
I'm not saying that there's not. I'm just saying that
a
that's
certain
what,
group of people saying, "Hey, this is the in crowd, and if you don't fit within that criteria, you're not within the in crowd."
All right. All I'm saying is that I understand like what this in crowd is, like what that depicts. It just depicts like everyone wants to get into the in crowd, and so that's the appeal, that's the aesthetic, that's part of the money that they get.
It just reminds me.
I'm not agreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that that's what it is.
I read a story once on the internet about there's a black guy on a plane,
Mhm.
and he was in first class, and apparently he got looked at sideways from like this really old, like snooty white person that didn't think he belonged there, even though he's not causing any trouble.
It's always the old white people, dude.
Dude, F old white people.
I love you, old white people, but goddamn.
some very. I know a lot of very close-minded old white people.
Me too.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
But
Wait, the train.
oh yeah, the train is always coming through. But like
Alright,
he
go.
got looked at funny because that person didn't think he belonged, even though he's not causing trouble.
It's so annoying,
just there.
dude. I hate that.
What's the difference? How is it like just because I don't look the part doesn't mean that number one I'm not good for
Oh,
money?
no, you're not saying that restaurants are racist.
I feel like it's discriminatory, and while there's a big
How
difference,
is it discriminatory? I don't understand.
well, there's a big difference in being able to choose.
Honestly, if you
what you
don't,
wear
I feel
versus-
like I feel like if you don't have enough money to have a suit to eat at a restaurant where you're going to be expected to spend exorbitant amounts of money,
no,
you probably shouldn't even be eating out in the first place. Do you understand?
F that. If I, for example,
Like this can actually parallel to the argument of like if you can't tip the waitress and the waiter, you shouldn't be eating out.
all right, let me
That's polarizing.
let me propose this
Let's
scenario.
get into that.
Which also, we shouldn't be tipping waiters at all.
Oh my god.
That's a terrible process.
Let's talk about that after this.
If I, being the poor Joe Schmo that I am, want to go to this fancy restaurant and I save up for a few months
Plugging in my charger if anyone asks.
and I take my lovely wife to this restaurant to
Mhm.
eat because I know that's super fancy and that while we don't have a lot of money, it'll make her feel better to go to this fancy place for a time.
Well, you know what else would make her feel better? Having a nice damn dress to eat in the restaurant.
Well,
too.
yeah, except that a nice damn dress is going to be $400.
Well, then you should wait longer.
Oh my god, no!
That's like saying I want to have a wedding, but I can't get into the wedding venue because I don't have a good tux for my wedding. It's like you want a good tux for your wedding to enjoy
So
the
first
whole
off,
experience.
yeah, it's the same premise. I don't... And which... The only reason that I wore a tux to my wedding is because my family would have had a cow.
And that's part of the restaurant.
My wife, I said, what do I have to wear for my wedding when we were first talking about
She's like, I
it?
don't give a fuck.
She was like, wear a t-shirt and shorts. I don't care.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She was like, I'm going to be there in Converse, and she was. She had Converse on under her wedding dress, which I thought was
That's
dope.
awesome.
But like, it's the same premise. I am comfortable unless someone is paying me not to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes my job, which pays me not to be comfortable. Because they say, okay, we want you to work for us and we'll pay you money. And that work is defined as coming in on time, wearing certain things, doing this certain work.
You know what solves all of this problem with?
it solves everything, right? Because this is a free market, Wes. You just don't go there, and you try to get as many people as you can to not go there, and then
But what if
eventually
I
they
want
go
to
out of
go
business. Well, then that's your problem, and you're gonna have to deal
No,
with it.
I want the food, but I don't want it to be the way that they want me to be.
Well, then that sucks because you can't go into their establishment if you
Like-
can't follow their rules.
Like, all right, so for example, at Thanksgiving, I went to Wendy's family's Thanksgiving, and by now they know me. But like, you know, originally, when the very first time I wore jeans and a polo because I wanted to make a good impression. You know, that was
Why did you do that? You shouldn't have to do that.
that's my choice. Though.
Uh-huh.
That's my choice.
Yeah.
After that, t-shirt, shorts, all day, every day.
Okay.
And no one said anything to me, and I don't think they will, because honestly, they don't really care that much. But my thoughts are, you're not paying me to be here. I'm not obliged to be here at all. I'm here because you wanted me here, and if you
That's
you
not why
want
you're
me
there.
here-
You're there because you want what they have.
No.
That's why you're there.
No, they invited me.
They didn't invite. What restaurant invites you? They're just like, dude,
Every restaurant invites everyone.
No, every restaurant says we got this shit.
It's an open invitation.
Okay, so how are they saying you got to come here? Like you have to get into our establishment any way that you can.
No,
Like,
they're
that's
not
what
saying. They're saying we want you to come give us money for food.
I'm sorry.
My family says we want you to come to Thanksgiving because you're family. We want to hang out with you. We want to be around you.
Wes, this is goods and services, like simple marketing. It's like you go to the restaurant to get food because you wanted the food. Nothing else is making you go there
There's nothing else.
besides you.
All right, so what determines whether I can have the food or not? Whether I have enough money?
Whether you can get in based on the club's rules.
If I can pay for
To
this
get in.
food, I can have the food. It's not if I can.
That's
pay
not
for
their
the
rules.
food.
That's not like there's no law that says every restaurant has to let you come in.
What if every game market, like every GameStop, every Best Buy, every Walmart is like, you can buy video games if you're dressed like a nerd. If you come in here with a business suit, you can't buy video games. If you come in here looking like a cowboy, you can't buy video games because you don't look the part. You're going to detract from our nerd customers trying to buy video games. We don't want you to buy video games.
What if every university says like anyone can come in? It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter if you deserve it or not. It doesn't matter if you are going to be with your peers or not. You're just going to have to try to get in. Like, I don't understand.
The difference is
What?
universities have a set amount of space. But for
Restaurants also have a set amount of space.
okay, but then the deal is, if that restaurant's full, and they say, okay, we can't take you because we're full, and there's someone else here that is dressed nice that wants the spot, we're going to go with them. We're going to offer our services to them. I get that, because restaurants have a finite amount of space. I guarantee you that's not the case at these restaurants because they're so damn snooty because they don't have anybody after freaking having them already tux just to enter them. I don't think so, son. You're not paying me to be at this restaurant. It's quite the opposite. I'm paying you
for their
your
services. Yes. So that's the way to get in to get their services is to follow their rules. Like, I don't understand.
That's a dumb, arbitrary rule that should not be able to be enforced. Just because somebody has rules doesn't mean they should be enforced. Doesn't mean they should be followed.
So then don't go there and then make them go out of business. That's all you have
but
to
I
do.
want the food, though.
So then you gotta go somewhere else because you can't go there. Because
This
if
is
you
ridiculous.
go, if you
I
go
can't
there,
believe-
if you go there, you're supporting them.
I can't believe that you're on their side here.
I'm
This
not
is
on their
nuts.
side. I just understand it.
Josh, you can't do the podcast anymore unless you're wearing a suit and tie.
That's not a rule.
I just made it a rule, and rules have to be followed. You have to wear a suit and tie now for the podcast.
That's not at all the same.
How is that not the same?
Because the restaurant didn't just make it out of thin air. It became
Yes.
a practiced club. It became a practiced rule.
Out of what? They literally make this out of thin air. They go, I want people to look nice in this restaurant. We're going to make it a rule that you have to look nice.
So then just don't go to the restaurant if you don't
But
like
the
it.
food, though. I want the food.
That sucks for you, dog.
Oh, man. This is the worst. So tipping, I think it's I
We
think
spent like 20 minutes on that.
still so salty about this. You know, for our podcast listeners, we want everyone to listen to our podcast. You don't have to be dressed a certain way. You don't have to like Metallica.
Those are our rules. That there are no rules.
Our rules are you can listen to the podcast. That's because we like business. We like you, the people.
We're not part of the in crowd. We don't believe in the in crowd.
We are the in crowd.
Yeah.
But anyway, so tipping, I don't think that's a good thing to do when it's expected. Like mandatory tipping, I think is terrible. I think it's a terrible idea.
Okay, that's not what I was arguing.
What are you
I
arguing?
was arguing that because of how the system's set up already, if you can't, in the United States, if you can't tip, you shouldn't. Like, if you cannot tip a waitress and a waiter, I feel like you're just harming like another human being, basically, in a way. You're like literally taking money from their wallet.
But the thing is, otherwise they're literally taking money from your wallet. I'll just post an example. When you worked at Wendy's, were you allowed to get tips?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. When I worked at certain business places, when I worked at the movie theater, if they saw you taking tips, you could get fired for it.
Oh.
Which they've since changed that policy.
I mean, I guess that's what happened with Wendy's because like I don't ever remember that.
But that was a policy when I was there, is that if you get tipped, that goes in your register, and that's it. If you put that in your pocket, you're stealing, and they would fire you, like almost on the spot.
I mean, that's not that's not the same tipping. Like that's not the same.
What? What do you
Like
mean?
tipping in a restaurant isn't the same as like tipping at a movie theater, and like
Why?
because it doesn't go straight to the restaurant. It goes to the server and the cook. That's what tipping is.
But I feel like that price should be included already in the price of whatever it is you're buying.
So then everyone should pay it. Then, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Mandatory tipping should not be a thing. It should just be a price that you agree to pay to this place,
Right.
and that's it.
Right. And like you're just saying that everyone should pay tipping.
I feel like the cost of the food should be
Accommodate for the tipping.
right. Like if you're saying that tipping is strictly for the cook, I feel like that should already be included in the price before I even go into this thing.
I'm not saying that that's like we're not like what I'm arguing isn't that. I'm not saying that like there's a better system. I'm saying that our system is poo-poo, but I'm saying that because of the way that our system is made up, if you go to a restaurant and you don't tip, you're stealing from the waitress and the cook and the waiter.
It's possible, and I get that, and I think that you should tip for good service, you know. But also, I feel like that it should be earned.
Right. Like that's the difference between me is like a 15 and a 25% tip is how good they are. But I'll always tip.
Oh man, see, I disagree because I've worked in the service industry, and Wendy's worked in the service industry, and she's had people that would not tip.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I have had terrible service before where my waitress or waiter comes by one time to get my drink and my food order all in one, and then someone else has brought out my food,
Yeah.
and I've never seen my waiter or
No
waitress again.
refills, no nothing.
Right. And I'm a fish when it comes to like
Yeah, me too.
I will kill like 3 or 4 glasses in the time it takes.
I drink water like it's nothing.
Right. Well, water. Sure.
I do.
I drink sodas and stuff. Yeah, it's not good, but those people I refuse to tip. I'm not going to do that because I'm not paying for something I didn't get. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, I understand the sentiment. I do. But just my personal beliefs is like, just because this waitress wasn't good doesn't mean that I should steal from her. And it's like, that's a really huge term to use. I get it. But that's just how it is in my brain. Is like, if I'm not giving enough money to pay for the whole service that I've received, then I am stealing from the tip, like the money. Like I'm stealing from their pocket, and I'm stealing from the
So, as someone who, just to play devil's advocate here, we'll say I have $10 to my name. And I'm going to go out with friends, and I'm going to say, okay, I can spend this $10 that I probably should be spending elsewhere, but because I'm human, and because you have to blow off some steam sometimes, and it's good to hang out with people, like, I could stay home and not spend this $10, sure. But if I go out, and, you know, we're with friends, whatever, and I order, like, a chicken finger basket for $7.99, and I have $10 to my name, I have agreed to pay $7.99 to the business. And everything that entails is under that cost.
Yeah.
The government comes in and says, hey, we want 11% of whatever you pay on top of that, which is not included in the original agreed upon price.
Mm-hmm.
So now instead of $7.99, you're paying
whatever, some tax.
$7.99 plus about $1, we'll say. So now it's $8.99. We'll say, just for argument's sake, it comes out from taxes and stuff to an even $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 100% of the money that I'm able to spend. I physically don't have any more money here. And I agreed to give you this money so that you would give me this food.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense that then a waiter or waitress is coming by and saying, oh, you also have to pay me. It's like, but that wasn't included in the original price. Why would I have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nowhere is it agreed upon where I'll pay $7.99 for this dish, this food, for this product, and then I have to pay taxes, and that you can find that somewhere, which is ridiculous. But nowhere can you find it written that you have to pay a tip. You know? Like, I don't think it's something that should be expected.
Like, the argument that you're surfacing again is like the argument of systems. It's like, include the tip in the price. And like, as much as I agree that that is a good, that should happen, it just isn't the case for us.
So we should just stop going to the restaurant until they implement that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way to solve it. Yeah.
Well, then
That's
that
the free
waitress,
market.
That waitress is not getting that money at all. So how is it stealing from the waitress in the first place?
Because it is like,
Like, either way, you're stealing from the waitress using your logic. Like, either you going there and you don't tip and you're stealing money from the waitress, or you don't go there at all when you originally planned to and you're stealing that money that you're going to give from the waitress.
how is that stealing whenever she provided you no service?
Exactly. If she's not providing, or he is not providing a service, they get no money.
Mm-hmm.
How is it stealing from them?
She provided the service. If you don't tip her, you're stealing from her.
How is that providing, if there is no service provided?
Well, then you're not gonna give her money, and so you're not.
What if there's supposed to be service provided and there's no service provided?
There was supposed to be service provided, and there was no service provided.
Right. Like, if I go
So
there...
she never came to your table. She never took your order. She never filled up your drink once.
He or she takes a drink order and takes a food order all at the same time.
That's part of her service.
And I'll pay appropriately for the amount of service that I've received.
Sure.
Which, for that, would be 10 cents probably.
That's your judgment. My judgment is that she's owed like 12-15%.
For taking down a single drink order
Her tip.
and writing down food,
Her tip, dude.
that's literally like 10 seconds of work. And that person gets 10 to 15%.
She doesn't
of whatever
just.
you
It's not
you
just to
spend?
her. It's to her and the cook who cooked him a badass meal. It's
What
to,
if the food is terrible?
What if it is?
Then they didn't do a good job cooking it.
Then don't go back to that restaurant and don't. Let
Then
her
don't
find-
tip, right?
No, like you. I think you should always tip, but that's just me.
I disagree,
I understand.
but I think that if a person does the job that you are asking them to do, provide the service that they are asked to provide, then sure, give them a tip. More importantly, I think that they should be paid a fair wage for being there
Of course.
and providing the service so that you can get rid of the whole, oh, this person is a jerk. Because there are people that are jerks that don't tip good service.
right.
And I absolutely will tip good service. I will tip mediocre service. If you do the bare minimum, I will tip you. But to me, the bare minimum is more than 10 seconds of taking down my order.
Yeah, and that's your definition. You know?
Like if I'm sitting there and I'm literally parched, or in the case of spicy foods, my mouth is on fire and I need something to, like, I'm in physical discomfort now because this person is no longer providing a service that is expected of me to pay for.
Mhm.
Right?
I'm not
No? Okay.
like the way that you're describing your bare minimum makes sense to me. I understand it, but also my bare minimum is she literally showed up, she took my order. That's all she had to do.
Like, I disagree. And that's okay.
That's fine.
I think we should wrap it up.
It's fine, dude.
Me and Josh we're killing each other over here. You can't see it. We got knives to each other's throats.
No, it's just I don't know. We just have like I guess a fundamental.
Josh likes to give people money for free, which is fine.
That's not for free. I'm just not stealing from her.
Josh likes to discriminate people.
Yeah.
Based off the way that they look. To come
You
into
can't
the
just
restaurant.
say that like it's funny. That's really strong.
Josh is a nice person. Internet, be kind.
Let's be kind.
I'm on the internet. I am big kind. Josh, you're my favorite person in this room. Aside from myself.
Besides me, I'm the only other person in the room.
You're an amazing person, Josh. Everything's
Thank you, Vince.
great.
You're amazing as well, dude.
Comments, let us know what you think. Should you tip? Should you not tip? Should you be expected to wear the fancy monkey suit?
If the rules ask that of you, yes.
Let us know what you think, guys.
Let us know.
This has been the Laugh at Everything podcast.
Thank you all so much for listening. Like and subscribe.
Blah, blah.
We appreciate it.
Yep.